Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to another episode of The Good and the Baddies. My name is Ashley, also known as Fat Medusa on my social media, and we are diving into Amberlynn. It is finally, I have awaited this video in particular, for probably the past 2 weeks now, or a week. Is it a week? 2 weeks? I don't know. Whenever Young Dumb Honey Bun posted this call out and Amberlynn said that she would be responding.
Should have, but then once you guys told me, because I do have a few videos scheduled that are already filmed and ready for you guys. I've really been enjoying uploading every other day. It's actually really fun for me, and I like to be a little bit ahead so I can continue doing that. If she doesn't do something about it now, she won't have much longer. So you have, okay, I'm gonna go back just so I can point. So this is one of my recent doctor visits where I talk about how, like, the doctor mentioned like exercising and my weight, and I thought that was really cool because, well, I mentioned my weight first. I'm gonna be honest. She asked me, why don't you exercise? And I said, because I don't like to, and I'm lazy. I was completely honest about that. Like, you need to exercise. Her saying that, which a doctor, from my remembrance, from my memory, which is so bad, I have so many holes in my memory, it honestly terrifies me. That is a whole other subject that I talked to my psychologist about, and she says I show signs of PTSD. Showing signs of PTSD from childhood does not mean I have PTSD. She said that is something she wants to talk about in the future. So, also, I feel like I have to explain everything. I just don't want people mad at me for this video. Like, I truly am trying. So, I told you guys I stopped outpatient.
I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying to get my shit together and tell the truth. I'm trying.
But I told you guys that I want to keep the psychologist, and I still have to talk to her about that. I'm just really hoping that she'll still will be my psychologist, and I still haven't messaged her, so I need to do that. That is something I need.
Color me surprised that Amberlynn, the queen of not taking her medication properly, even though it is very much so needed, like her bipolar medication, her depression and such, is all tied to that. You'd think she would be more apt to wanting to stay, in cycle with that. And even now with her antibiotics, I hope she's taking them as prescribed on schedule, because if not, they're not going to be as effective. But yeah, color me surprised that she hasn't bothered to get in contact with her outpatient therapist to work out them continuing her therapy outside of the outpatient program. And it's been a few weeks now. They probably just think that she's dropped them at this point and moved on, and they deem her a lost cause.
Need to do so. The holes, the memory problems,
the memory holes.
PTSD. I'm not saying that I have it. It's just a big PTSD symptom, and I truly believed myself right here. I believed in myself right here until I saw this clip. And this is the part where, okay, I don't want to get emotional, but this is the part where I'm like, how do I not remember what I say? Like, how do I not remember the experience?
That's the thing, Amberlynn. You film these videos, so it wouldn't be that hard to clear up any inconsistencies if they weren't so drastic, if they weren't so drastically different. It's it's a thing. Like, this is why people do not believe in what you say, because you're saying right here that you can't believe that you can't remember what you say online. But it wouldn't be an issue if it was the truth, because the truth doesn't have varying levels of inconsistency. It is either not the truth or the truth. There's no gray area for the truth.
That I went through. When I saw this clip, I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. I remember this was the doctor that I saw that I actually really, really liked. She like sang and she was fun. She was quirky. Like I really, really loved her. She just made you feel like you've been best friends forever. And I remember after, you know, all my tests came back and all that stuff, she did come in. She did tell me you're healthy, but she actually said overweight. She didn't even say obese. I like literally exaggerated here. Of course I did. Am I right? But she said, yeah, you're healthy, but you're overweight. And that's all she left it as. So there was no more than that. So it was later on, I have this like health portal situation where you can like message your doctor if you want, whatever it may be. I actually don't use it anymore. But I did when I was seeing this doctor. And I messaged her. And I asked her about Optavia. It was a little bit before I started Optavia. And I asked her, I was like, have you heard of this? Like, is it okay? Like, should I do it? And she was like, I haven't heard of it, but give it a try. You know, anything will help. And so I brought my weight to her attention first. So I think it was a few months later, I went in for another visit where she kind of did the same old sing and song and dance or whatever that quote is, where, you know, you're healthy, but you're overweight. And that is when she mentioned the weight loss group, because I was like, as a doctor, do you have any advice of what I can do to lose weight? And she told me 1,500 calories, lower your carbs. That is what she told me because I asked her. I guess when I say no doctor's ever talked about my weight, I think it's because I want them to literally look me in the face and say that you're dying. And I believe that was true until I saw this. I saw this clip and I was like, damn, that did happen. How did I forget? I literally forgot. This was during my whole cancer situation.
Amberlynn, it's not that you forgot. It's that you just flat out lied. You didn't remember that you had said that. And you went and ran your mouth. It happens. I mean, no one would fault you at this point because of your childhood, because of all of the things against you for being a habitual liar. No one, I mean, yes, people would fault you, but like in the backs of their minds, they'd be like, you know what? I get it. She wants attention. She wants everybody to think of her in a certain light. And if she were to say otherwise, people would think the worst of her, and she doesn't want that. So you sway the story in whatever is going to put you in the best light. And when you are a YouTuber and this is your job and you show so much of your life and the stories are not as juicy as they used to be, or they're not as interesting as they used to be, and you start just talking, stuff comes out. like Young Dung Honeybun did these videos in particular, but there are much more videos of you getting caught in inconsistencies and flat out lies. So this video, even though like the intentions of it are whatever, I don't think it's going to clear anything up. If anything, I think people are just going to come off thinking that you just can't help yourself. Like you're trying so hard to keep yourself in a favorable light that you're willing to tell whatever narrative that is going to help. Like, I don't know. I just don't think this video is doing what you thought it was going to do. And I feel bad about that because I was really hoping that you would clear all this up and it'd be like, whatever. But And by clearing up, I mean just admit that, you have issues with lying to keep yourself in a good mental state. Like, I can't imagine saying, "Oh, I'm so out of shape and overweight that I can't do certain tasks," or my doctor is like concerned with my weight because I'm this big, especially because I believe that like bottom left hand, my left, video is from when you were bedbound. So I'm pretty sure that a doctor was mentioning your weight. Like, if they weren't, I don't think you were going to the right doctor. Also, you've had so many doctors in this 10-year span or whatever. I can't even imagine that because you haven't even been to 10 different states in the past 10 years. So I had a family doctor when I was younger and then switched from the family doctor to a doctor of my choice when I got old enough. And I stayed with that doctor, even though we didn't agree on a lot of his practices. Like, I vividly remember him when I was 18, telling my mom, of all people, that happened had come to the doctor's office with me because she was seeing another doctor in that practice with my youngest brother. But telling her that she needed to kick me out of the house, and if I were to stay there, I was only allowed having a fish fillet and a handful of cashews. And needless to say, me and that doctor did not get along. Teenage me, not a nice person. But I've only had maybe 3 doctors in my lifetime. I'm 37, gonna be 37. I can't imagine having 10 or more. That's literally a doctor a year. That's crazy. Like, a doctor a year of your YouTube career. That's crazy to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
And that I don't remember. It was a scary time in my life. It truly was. And I just have a lot of things I don't remember. So seeing this clip brought back a few memories and a few things that happened and that was said. So this is true and this is not true. Based on my memory, I don't ever want to just like sit here and lie to you guys in my videos. It's because honestly, I feel dumb. I feel dumb 9 times out of 10. Like, so many of you ask me, like, do you have learning problems? Like, do you have disability? Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. And that's putting it lightly. Okay. This is not a...
Okay. I don't like seeing her cry. This is not what this is about. This is not about you in this instance, who you are as a person. This is about what you're showing us. And it's unfortunate that people get into your head as much as they do. And especially on the ableist mentality of like calling you learning handicapped because of things that pass you by. That's disgusting. But it doesn't matter what learning capacity you're at. Everybody is able to lie. And just some people are better at it than others. And I don't think you're particularly one that's good at it because you can't remember your lies. So I don't like seeing the tears. This isn't more attention for you. This should be dispelling the rising amount of rumors that you are just lying for views. And especially with the title of this vlog response, I lied and I'm so sorry. Like, it's so cringe and clickbaity. To say that you're not doing it for the money, mama, you are so doing it for the money. And I'm not mad at it, but it is what it is. Say what it is. Let's not pussyfoot around it. Pussy Willows. if you're older, you get that reference. If you're a John Waters fan, you definitely get that reference. Don't make me look weird.
Pity me video. We ain't crying.
But now she won't have much longer. So you have sleep apnea. Why did you say you didn't? Thank you for the super chat. And honestly, I have never been tested, so I can't say if I do or not. Afterwards, they told me that I do have sleep apnea.
Or that I pay for the rain and it's
Okay. It's hard for me to see this clip right here. This is actually right after I got a DNC. I was put to sleep for the first time in my whole life because I was rushed to the ER and I was trigger warning. Blood all over the hospital floor, the ER room. It was the scariest experience of my life. And during that, after I woke up from the DNC, they told me that I did stop breathing. And they said, that's probably because you have sleep apnea.
Okay, then my question is, why did you say that they told you that you have sleep apnea? If they're just telling you you possibly have sleep apnea, that's not a definitive. That's not you were diagnosed with sleep apnea. That's not anything. But you clearly state in that video, your DNC video or after your DNC, that they diagnosed you with having sleep apnea.
So here I say that I've never been tested. I don't want to like get my words wrong, so let me watch it again.
Why did you say you didn't? Thank you for the super chat. And honestly, I have never been tested, so I can't say if I do or not.
Yeah, I have never been tested, so I can't say if I do or not, was what I said here, which was after this. So I can understand why people are confused. So the reason why I answered this way is because I had a hysterectomy, and the hysterectomy was so much longer, so much more invasive than the DNC. Like the DNC was nothing. I'm not like downplaying a DNC, but it was nothing compared to the hysterectomy. And one of the main questions I wanted to ask after my surgery was, did I stop breathing? I asked, and the surgeon said I did not stop breathing, not one time. And the surgeon actually said how amazing and perfect it went. And it made me feel
correct me if I'm wrong, because I may be wrong. I've had surgeries where they've put me under. Hello, I'm a mother. I've undergone 2 C-sections where they put me semi under, and then I also had a reparative surgery after my youngest was born, and they put me completely under for that. But do they not intubate you for surgery where they put you under? Like they have machines that breathe for you, so that's not even a possibility that you could stop breathing during surgery? Or am I wrong? I feel like I need to like look this up because I don't want to look stupid. And unlike Amberlynn, I like to look things up. So let me look it up real quick. Yeah. So I just looked it up, and the first thing that came up of course, from WebMD, so who knows if you can actually trust it or not, but I'm just going at face value here. But it says the drugs that put you to sleep during surgery, general anesthesia, may also hold down your breathing. An intubation machine breathes for you, and that's why your anesthesiologist, the doctor who puts you to sleep for the surgery, will intubate you. I think it's like dependent upon how lengthy the surgery is, honestly. But at any rate, you are intubated. She would have been intubated for a hysterectomy because, even as she said, it was a lengthy surgery and they ran into a lot of issues. So I think sleep apnea would not have been even on their minds at that point, because you would have had to been intubated for the surgery, and the anesthesia that they give you is meant to kind of weigh down your respiratory system. So that's why intubation's needed.
So good, because before surgery I was literally terrified. You have no idea. I was like, oh my God. I thought literally it was my last day alive. I was like, how am I gonna survive this? But so I think I took the easier route, and since one surgeon said I stopped breathing and another one said I didn't, I took the one that said I didn't and I ran with it. I need tested. That's clear as ever. Morbidly obese, very common to have sleep apnea. It's just easier for me.
It's highly likely that you do have sleep apnea, because you've said before through your own words that you have to be asleep sitting up. You can't be fully laying on your back. It causes other issues, of course, but I feel like one of the major issues is probably you have difficulty breathing if you're flat on your back. It would definitely be worth looking into. It would probably make your sleep so much more soundful, and you would be able to sleep on a normal schedule as opposed to sleeping whatever. But that's also like if you took your medication as you're supposed to and all that. But do you, boo?
Need to say I've never been tested, so I don't know. Not only is it easier, but I feel less embarrassed saying that. I don't feel ashamed saying that. So it's easier, which is the truth, to say that I have not been tested, so I don't know. So I can see how that's like an inconsistent answer, but at the time, that was my truth. And when I do get tested, I will more than likely tell you guys the results, because this has been definitely a hot topic for my channel.
Afterwards, they told me that I do have sleep apnea.
Oh, wait. I was trying to fast forward it because I was like, I don't want to hear that again, but now.
That I do have sleep apnea. Or that I pay for the ring, and I just want to say that Becky actually paid for it.
Okay, so here looks like, is this Instagram? Yeah. This is an Instagram Q&A that I did. I said, I bought the rings, Becky didn't. Okay, and then here, you can listen to me again.
I do have sleep apnea. Or that I pay for the ring, and I just want to say that Becky actually paid for it. She gets commissions for her art. So, I don't know, that just like made me sad that a lot of people were just like, oh my God, you paid for your own ring, da, da, da. It's almost like, even if I did, who cares? But I didn't.
Okay. So this was made after the breakup, and this was after the engagement. I'm pretty sure this was the live stream where sorry, I'm getting emotional because I know exactly what I'm about to say, and I'm just scared. So this was the live stream, I'm pretty sure, where I announced that I'm engaged, where I talked about it a lot. I don't want Becky mad at me. So Becky, if you see this, I love you as a person, but I need to be honest because this is what this video is about. I lied here. I wanted to protect Becky. Becky and I agreed that we would say that she bought the engagement rings.
Protect Becky from what? Who cares who bought the ring? It's the fact that you had to lie about it. That's why everybody's upset. They're not upset. Like, we understand. Becky at the time did not have a job. Her job entailed making sure that you had your food that you wanted and making sure that you were wiped, showered, bathed, and in clean clothing. I don't know. And I guess took care of the pets because during your bedbound days. But like it boggles my mind, the whole Becky scenario, because you went on to say that you had no intimacy with Becky. You guys were like roommates, that you weren't in love with her, that like all of these things that you said, and they could have been said out of hate, or not hate, out of just hurt. But then you went on to say that like you never loved her anyhow, at least not like that. But in the stream where you're talking about your engagement, like you're all hyped up about it, saying, oh, I'm gonna marry the love of my life, blah blah blah, I can't wait, showing off the rings. And then even like during the breakup, when you and Becky like officially broke up, you were like saying how heartbroken you were and how betrayed you felt. It just doesn't add up with what you were saying as you were with Jade. Because once you got with Jade and had your next partner lined up, it's almost like Becky was just meh. I didn't need her. She was just my caregiver. Like, there wasn't any like romantic love there. It was all just friendship, and I love her as a friend. No. You did Becky dirty with that, because I wholeheartedly think Becky actually loved you and just wanted to be your support system. And for you to do her like that, because you had her quit her job. Of course, because you had the money to do so and could support both of you. But mainly because she could be there when you needed her for things. And it even came out about the cleaning thing, which I've already touched on in a previous video, so I'm not gonna like bash you for that again. But you did Becky dirty, and I feel bad for how dirty you did her. But don't make yourself out to be a good guy in this scenario, because it's not gonna work. It's not. Not even the good guy in this scenario. I mean, just don't play it down to be like, oh, I was protecting her, because you weren't. And you still don't.
A lot of people were saying, oh, Becky used Amberlynn's money to propose, I didn't want people to think that. I also selfishly, I will say that selfishly, didn't want people to think that I bought my own ring.
I'm also going to go on to say, like, your bestie bought her own engagement ring. It's not like that big of a deal, I guess. In like the grand scheme of things. But I think where you guys get it messed up is like being with people that either A, don't want to be with you in Chantal's case, or B, that do want to be with you, but you don't have that connection that they thought they had with you. And it's really unfortunate, because I think Becky finally got to the point, that's why the breakup happened. But I think Becky finally got to the point that like this wasn't going anywhere, and she needed to get herself healthy before you drug her into feeling worse about herself and I'm sure having a job makes her feel like she's contributing in some way. But also being able to finally grieve her mother after everything that happened. I hope Becky's doing good out there. I do. I seriously do.
I'm sorry. Like, lying's lying. That's like a point blank period on that regard. I just feel like some lies are to protect yourself or to protect the people around you.
It's not protecting Amberlynn. You didn't protect her from anything. You know what happened? People still thought you bought your own rings. And then when it came out that you did, it made it 10 times worse. Just, it's not protecting anybody. It's just making things worse.
We're protecting ourselves from judgment. And it's wrong. It's wrong. I should have just ignored the topic. If we, like, us not wanting people to know, we should have just ignored it. We should have ignored the topic, ignored the questions, ignored the rumors, point blank. And I'm sorry. Genuinely. Because
you're not, I don't feel like you are, because you guys could have went the way of her proposing and not making it the main spectacle of your channel at the time. Like, we got to see the Becky down on one knee proposing and you crying and all of the hoopla around it, and then we got to see the gaudy ring, and then we got to see the ring that was used as a placeholder for the gaudy ring because you felt like the gaudy ring was too gaudy. Girl, come on. You guys could have played it up any other way to save face. You guys could have not shared it and been fine. You guys could have shared the proposal and not the ring. Like, I don't feel like anybody asked about the ring. So you literally could have shown like a little bubblegum machine ring. That would have been adorable. But the fact that you guys had to, the fact that you had implanted in Becky's brain that it had to be lied about, it just boggles my mind. Like, out of all the things that could be lied about. Yeah.
Because it's not right to lie like that. And this is where this is hard, and because people call me a liar all the time, and this right here,
if the flat fits, which I don't think it actually does, it's like they're so ill-fitting. She needs to get a decent pair of shoes.
Isn't gonna help. I will say that there are a lot of things that people say I've lied about that I have not. I have not at all. So I know me saying that means nothing. It literally means nothing. I have to build trust back. That's what it is. Like I said, this is like a relationship. If you lose trust for someone, sometimes...
Honey, I'm not sure that I want to take relationship advice from somebody that's been with how many different partners now in the course of 10 years? One of which they weren't even in love with? Call me crazy.
The trust never comes back. But it's nice to have that opportunity to build it back. And I really want that opportunity because this right here was not right of me. And I'm sorry.
Me sad that a lot of people were just like, oh my god, you paid for your own ring, da, da, da. It's almost like even if I did, who cares? But I didn't.
I learned how to do sign language, ABC.
Okay, so right here, this is, again, the question website. If you could...
I'm going to blow past this one because, again, this is another one that I feel is, like, so irrelevant to everything going on. I don't really care if she doesn't know sign language and tried to claim that she did. I mean, it's bad for people that actually are fluent in sign language, and she's claiming to know sign language in the first video, even though I think she says that she only knows the ABCs and was constantly signing. Whatever. Let's blow past it, because I don't care. Another one I don't care about. This was an awful reference here for claiming they're different people. I think it's all the same person, honestly. But why couldn't we say, like, why are we trying to say that this isn't Jade? As opposed to why are these, like, looking like different people? Why couldn't they just said, tell me this isn't Jade? Because it is.
It's clear that I look a little shorter. I replied with no, because I haven't lied and I'm not manipulating anyone. I wish it would have never. Doctor that sings. That's the best way to describe her for you guys. This was the same time.
Oh, I love this one. When they catch her in the lie about the doctor support group thing. That was a good one.
To a support group. Okay.
Her and her co-workers and employees, like in the office where she works, in January they were starting like a weight loss thing, just like within the office. And she was like, I want to invite you to join us. And every single month, you don't even have to pay. You come in every single month, we can weigh you and you can be a part of this. And I was like, just her thinking of me.
Yes, this was the same time that doctor that sings, that's the best way to describe her for you guys. This was the same time where I went in and I asked her like about how should I lose weight. And she said low carb, 1,500 calories. This is when she thought of this idea for me to come in and to weigh myself. Here, I think I'm understanding it more. What happened with the doctor's diet competition? I said, what are you talking about? Because it was never supposed to be a competition. So I guess that's what I was confused about. And then here, didn't your doctor invite you to one? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know where these are from. I guess somewhere where I'm just answering questions. And then I said, no, she didn't invite me to a support group. I guess I was talking about support groups on this website. So then someone replied and said, did your doctor invite you to one? I'm trying to just like paint the picture better for you guys because I'm confused. So I don't want you guys to be confused. Oh, wait. Down here it says, why don't you join a support group for weight loss? Oh, okay. So I must have answered that. And then someone said that, which in my response was, she didn't invite me to a support group. Because I took the idea of a support group as a bunch of her patients or a bunch of individuals that she sees coming together in like a meeting format. Like we sit around and we talk about stuff like that. So that's what I took that as. I didn't really consider at the time me coming to weigh myself and having some of the people at the office weigh themselves. I did not at the time consider that a support group, but now that I hear more about it and I'm more rational, it does make more sense that it is kind of like a support group. So hopefully that makes sense.
Telling me, I want you to be part of the weight loss journey and competition within my office meant.
Oh, shit.
The moment Amberlynn realizes that she has been caught in yet another lie.
I said competition, but she didn't say competition. I feel like maybe sometimes in the past, I exaggerated things.
I feel like maybe sometimes in the past, I lied out of my ass. Come on. Come on. Just admit that you lied.
To make them seem more better in a way. I honestly don't know.
Oh my god. You lied. Like,
it wasn't supposed to be a competition. It was supposed to be support.
Either way, they asked the question and you denied both of them.
Trust me, like it literally felt like me and Becky were just roommates, so it was easier for me to move on. We like never hugged. Like She never complimented me. I probably didn't compliment her. Like, I wasn't perfect either. There was just nothing, like, at all. So it's like, nothing.
It boggles my mind. Like, I understand that she got with Becky almost directly after her and Destiny split. And I wholeheartedly believe that Becky was a rebound that wasn't supposed to last as long as it did. But Amberlynn found compliance and ease of manipulating a situation, and Becky being the fodder for it. Like, she did everything Amberlynn asked of her, and more, and even more. So this is like just awful in that stance, and I have a really hard time believing Amberlynn in this situation, because she knew going into the relationship with Becky that there was nothing there. It was just somebody to get her through to the next stage as a caregiver, honestly. Because I think she had put on quite a bit of weight with Destiny towards the end of their relationship, and then the drinking and stuff. I think Becky was just somebody that was nice to her, and she took that and ran with it and tried to make a mile out of a molehill. You know what I mean? She tried to make it more than it was, and it was just a friendship that unfortunately ended pretty badly.
It has changed, it feels like. Besides, maybe we vibe better because there's not this like big heavy feeling like on our chest or on our shoulders anymore. Why did you agree to marry her? I don't know. Deep down in my gut, I wasn't happy like I should have been.
Deep down in my gut, I felt like if I was married, it would make me happy. Because out of all these relationships, that's been her end goal. She wants to get married. She wants to live the white woman dream of the being married, being in a very amazingly supportive, committed relationship, and children.
You know how like when someone proposes, like you're supposed to like cry? Like I low-key like tried to fake cry. I know that sounds so bad.
It doesn't sound bad. It is bad, Amberlynn. You should have felt horrible even saying that. I wanted to force myself to cry to make it look like I was so in love with this person proposing to me that it was making me well up with tears. That is trash. That would make me feel so horrible watching this back. Like this is going to kill whatever mental health high that you were riding.
Oh my God. Admitting it is like so just horrible. I don't know. Becky and I just weren't good like that. Were you ever in love with Becky to begin with? I loved Becky unconditionally. I'm just not entirely sure I was actually in love. I will admit that my heart was extremely broken, and I said things on live stream that definitely kind of shocked me later when I went back and saw it. I was kind of harsh to her because
she was ruthless with Becky until she secured the new boo. And then once she secured Jade, and Jade like verified that she was going to move in with Amberlynn, because they moved in very quickly. But after that was all like verified and taken to that point, Amberlynn had been so cruel to Becky. And for what? She wasn't in love with her, not in that way. If anything, Becky should have been mad at her for wasting her time.
It's like she just broke my heart. It was some weird mental gymnastics I was doing where it's like I kind of wanted her to feel some sort of pain. I know a lot of people who get their heart broken, they go through it differently. But one of the stages that I feel like I went through without like thoroughly processing that I went through it was just like, I was mad. I was massively upset that like she proposed to me. So I was assuming.
Amber, that is not why you were mad. Amberlynn, you were mad because somebody that you decided to financially support and house and feed and confide in like your deepest, darkest secrets didn't want to be with you. Like had finally realized their worth and didn't want to be with you. And you couldn't handle that. Even though you did not love this person like that. Like, yes, maybe as a friend, but you did not love this person how a partner should be loved. If anything, you should feel like shit on this situation. And you shouldn't continue to make Becky feel shit on this situation because this was you. This was all on you. You could have said no to the engagement, to the proposal. You could have said no to moving in together. You could have like just had her visit or whatever and like built a long distance thing and figured out that it wasn't going to work. But no, you had her build a life, start building a life with you, and then started being known that she could do. You probably treated her like shit during the bedbound years. And she probably just finally was like, I need to do me or I'm going to die. I will die here. Her health was getting bad. She's not able to do things because she's worried about like what that would mean for you. Like, that's heartbreaking. And I'm glad she finally got out because I couldn't imagine doing that to a partner.
We were, about to create a life together, more than the one we had now. And then she just like took that away a couple months later. So it was very much like I was angry. I feel like I don't feel anger a lot. So I guess when I do feel it, I kind of go through it without realizing it. And I think during the moments of my anger and me being really, really hurt, I can definitely say that I said some mean things to her. And I have obviously apologized to her.
Oh, okay. Why is your mistreatment of Becky justified by a broken heart and you being so upset because she took the chance at a life together away from you when you've admitted you felt nothing, did not want a life together, was not happy, had to fake excitement, and felt trapped in a cage? I'm gonna be honest, the breakup was confusing. I went through a lot of different stages. Anger, relief, sadness, depression, happiness, hope. I went through it all. I really did. My broken heart, my anger, the resentment, whatever it may be, does not justify the way that I treated Becky. It doesn't. I have apologized to her in person. I've apologized to her in text. I've apologized to her on FaceTime. I have done a lot of apologies because Becky is a good person with a fucking good heart. And it is what it is.
That's probably the only line of truth that I've heard come from your mouth in this particular video. That Becky is a good person with a good heart.
I was mean. I was. Because I was mad. And when I get mad, I get irrational. I say things I don't mean. Like, it's a bad thing that I am working on that I have talked to my psychologist about. And she explained, I wish I knew big words. There's something in your brain that triggers like flight or fight response. And with trauma-based people, especially like childhood trauma, a lot of people fight instead of flight. My fight is kind of mean. I do and did really, really, truly love Becky. It's just once the initial fear of the breakup was gone, and the initial pain and the initial change and the initial shock, I was able to really, really reflect on how I truly felt and my feelings.
AKA, once Jade started sliding in her DMs and was verified to be the person they were saying they were and not a troll, that's when she started reevaluating. Let's just be clear on that.
And I felt horrible. And that's why in this clip right here, I am very apologetic. I feel really bad. I still do to this day, because what's on the internet stays on the internet. I do not care that what I said per se is on the internet because of me. What I care about is that's going to be on the internet forever. And Becky kind of has to deal with that. She has to.
And again, this is on you. You are the one that got into the relationship with Becky, knowing full well that you had no attraction towards her in that way, at least from your own words. So anything that happens to Becky after your guys' split up that has to do with your fan base and how they perceive her, that is on you and solely on you.
Deal with her ex kind of bashing her, and I feel horrible about it, and I'm just sorry. Like, Becky, if you're watching this, you know I'm sorry, and you know I love you as a person. Becky was strong enough to end the relationship when I wasn't, and that's the truth. And
Becky was strong enough to realize that she needed to think about herself more than you, because it wasn't a relationship. It was a friendship. And I mean, the fact that she couldn't even grieve her mom because of being in the relationship with you, it says a lot.
It just hurt and shocked me. But again, not justified, and I'm sorry.
Some mean things to her, and I have obviously apologized to her.
In the past, unfortunately, I just deleted the video. I literally thought that's just what happens, and I apologize. I want to believe that that's who she is. I want to believe that she is a good person, that she's an amazing person. So Chantal knows, we know, I know that what she said was horrific. It was. I have no excuses for her. I disagreed with everything she said. I was as shocked as you guys were. I honestly still am. I'm just like, damn. Because when I drink, I'm like emotional and like really sweet, really. I've never been like an angry drunk. That shocked me. Like, the thing she was saying was like super offensive. My only answer is I don't want to believe that that's who she is.
Why didn't we have the same energy for Trisha Paytas? Like, for Trisha Paytas? Because you demonized Trisha Paytas for being a xenophobe. Like, you were angry. You were, like, very upset over it. And then we get, oh, I understand. I don't agree with it. But I have to believe that she's a better person than that. Man, these rich white women.
I want to believe that she is a good person, that she's an amazing person. And that's honest. That's just me being honest. I don't.
Amberlynn, at the end of the day, Chantal is not a good person. And I will tell you why. Not only does she lie through her teeth to her audience consistently, on a consistent basis, and then tell them the truth later when she's been caught in so many lies, like caught to the fact that even when confronted with the truth in her lies, she still denies it, then goes on to yell at her audience and belittle her audience because she can't take the fact that they are coming at her with that kind of truth. I would not support someone like that. And you shouldn't either. But y'all are like cut from the same cloth. Yes, Chantal is a little bit more controversial than you. She's a little more wild. But y'all just lie about some of the dumbest things. I don't understand it. Maybe you guys should like have a little huddle and figure out what's going on with that. Like, why do we need to lie about who bought whose ring? Like, Chantal even lied about the Jafar ring for the longest time, and then it came out that, yeah, she bought it. Like, girls.
Agree with what she did, though. And I don't want Chantal to be mad at me for saying that, but I don't agree.
I don't want Chantal to be mad at me for thinking that I don't agree with her. Let that sink in. Come on.
I'm scared to upload this video for more reasons than one. I can definitely say that. But Chantal knows that it was disgusting and it was wrong and it's not okay. I don't support that in any sort of way.
You know, if Chantal knew it was wrong, after she had confirmed watching, as much of it as she could stand to watch of herself, because she knew that she was very trashy in that video, or in the live stream, the CUBA BEEZE. If she was so on that same level of feeling disgust over it, the fact that she still continues to lie about things mentioned in that CUBA BEEZE and have them sound less offensive than they were, it tells me that she has learned nothing from it and is still the toxic person that we think she is. And the fact that you still cover for her because she's your internet homie, your YouTube homie, your Mukbangers Anonymous sponsor, it's not doing it for me. I feel like I feel some type of way about it.
Shape, way, or form. Just thoroughly, I don't want to believe that that's really her.
It is.
So
thank God this is over.
Reaction is over. It was hard. This is a long video. I have a lot of editing to do, but I think it'll be worth it. Hopefully you guys can understand me more.
The tears were almost there.
Again, I just apologize for ever making you guys feel deceived or gaslit or manipulated.
Amberlynn, do you realize that you did make a video saying that you didn't care that you gaslit your audience and that you thought it was fun to troll your audience? Do you not remember that? Honey, you need some vitamins for memory. Like, you need something, because the faking like we don't know what we previously talked about, it's not a good look. It's not.
It's like never my intention to do those things. And I think that's like what sucks, is because I do shit that I don't intend. And then it just turns into this big old thing, but it's ultimately my fault. And I'm sorry. And I can just like only learned from this, I know that everyone nitpicks, not everyone, but a lot of you nitpick a lot that I do say, etc. So I do know that that's just gonna come with the territory. It's just like, I want criticism and constructive criticism that makes sense. I just feel attacked a lot.
Honey, if you wanted constructive criticism that makes sense, when people offered you to follow one of your diet plans that were, I mean, Weight Watchers is manageable. It is. People lose weight on it every day. They just want you to stick with something to make progress. The fact that you come up with all of these excuses not to do these programs. I mean, I understand having a binge. I understand that. It comes with your disorder. But just saying, oh, forget about it, I'm never going to be able to do it, instead of getting back on that horse and riding it until you've come to some type of change in your life. But instead you give up all the time. And your audience is starting to get frustrated because you not only give up, you make excuses, you blame your audience for the mental health situations that you're put through because you have all of this time on your hands because of the job that you have to be able to see what people are saying about you. If you had a regular 9-to-5 job, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what people are saying about you. Because you've got to make that money to pay the bills. Do I think you would have been better off with Crystal in this situation? Yes. Because at least you had a support system that was trying to get you to weight loss at whatever means necessary. You were more active with Crystal. You were just doing more, even though you still were making the same excuses as to why these diets and stuff failed. There was still a push to keep going. But as you've gotten older, the push is just, it's not working. It's not for me. It's too low calories. People have told me it's too low calories. People told me this. People told me that. Stop letting other people dictate what you're doing. Just stick with something, though. Stick with Weight Watchers. Stick with Jenny Craig. I don't even know anymore. Stick with whatever diet fad that you are super invested in at the time. But stick with it. Just stick it all the way through. Stick to it for a year. If you can handle it for a year without quitting it, and that, I'm not even saying like it's not sticking with it if you have like a binge episode. It's still sticking with it. You had a binge. Get back up, whatever, how many days that you binge, get back on it. You know, that's the thing. You won't stay consistent with anything. And that's the issue most of your viewers have with you. The lies and stuff, I mean, it's just been made a part of your channel now. People just expect you to lie and exaggerate things. And it's funny that even because that's who you've been tied to now is Chantal, who exaggerates and lies about the dumbest of things. So we'll see what happens after this. We'll see what video you have pre-recorded for the next upload to see what happens after this, or if this even gets addressed after this. So that's all for the Amberlynn reaction. We are now going on to Chantal. What time is it? I'm doing this for a couple hours, so I may take a little break, and then I may get to the other one and hopefully have that one up sometime tomorrow, but I hope to get this video and the one prior that I did on Jennifer, Gwen, Ann uploaded tonight. Yes, tonight, because I love you people. I love my 16 subscribers, and I want to treat you. If you like tonight's I'm sorry. If you like tonight's episode, please do not hesitate to give that like button a firm fucking hit. Or subscribe if you would be so nice. It just lets me know, or even leave a comment. I love comments. I love answering you guys back. I love responding to you guys. Leave a comment. Constructive criticism. Whatever. Things you think I should have added and I didn't. Things that I added that you didn't like. But thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Or see you next episode. See you soon. Bye.